Let's start pretty hot at this point. Let's go right into a top 5.
Okay.
Let's give the listeners a top 5 from the jump. Top 5 R&B albums of the
That's
year.
my shit.
Now,
That's my shit.
I'll give you guys this one because I don't want to disrespect nobody in R&B. So I'm not even going to try and attempt.
Nah.
So I was like, you know what? Out of respect, end of year, just to celebrate good shit, good,
Right.
positivity. So I'm gonna let you guys hold this one down.
You know what? I
Hold
appreciate
it down
that,
for
man.
the set.
I appreciate that because, I definitely listened to a lot of R&B this year.
Yes.
My Spotify top list was like...
Your rap, trap,
It was
trap
like,
and rap.
No, forget the
rap and
genres. I'm
trap.
saying the actual list of songs. Bro, all R&B. I'm like,
Oh,
fam.
yeah. Solange.
Like, I needed it for a drive, and it was just... Listen, man, it is what it is. So I bumped a lot of R&B this year. Dill, I'm assuming you bumped a lot of R&B
A lot.
this year as
And
well.
this was probably the
R&B heads.
hardest list for me to create.
Do you have 5 albums or more than 5 albums?
I narrowed it down to 5, but it could have been like 10.
So you got
Do
some
you want to
honorable
start
mentions.
with
I don't
some
have
of those
honorable
ones
mentions
that
off the
didn't
top,
make the list?
Okay, you go first.
That didn't make the list?
I'm gonna get flamed. For this.
Nah, there's no flaming.
There ain't no flaming.
By the way, we should start it by saying this is our list.
Yes.
Like, just because
Important.
if I say Lil Yachty's album's the best album, it's me saying Lil Yachty.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, it's not. I'm gonna say well, I need to use a bad album as an example. If I say Big Day is my favorite album, which it's not, that's my
lesser
favorite
chances.
album. It's not. I don't care what the critics are saying.
Yeah, so that's
So-
important to set that criteria. Any list that we talk about, they are sort of personal favorites.
yes.
Right.
I'm assuming for all of us, for favorite, we are also considering how it was acclaimed to
Oh,
some
that
degree.
takes you take that
But-
into consideration.
It's still our preference
Yes,
at the end of the day.
exactly.
So you are going to find very diverse lists, very different lists. Can't flame it.
Okay.
If it's not on your list, it's not on your list.
If
And
I
if
say-
it's honorable mention, it's not so bad.
Okay. If I think Garth Brooks my favorite, he's my favorite.
Hey, listen, some
Shout
of us like
out
Garth Brooks. Okay, so like I said, man, top 5 R&B albums of the year. You want me to go first with my honorable mentions?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. How many honorable mentions do you have?
A lot.
Shit. Okay.
Like,
I got 4. I got 4 honorable mentions.
Lister, 1 sentence, 2 max about these albums.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna expand on
Okay.
these at all. Chilombo Janae Aiko.
honorable mention.
Honorable
Yes.
mention.
Got you.
Phenomenal album. Love that
I've
album.
heard.
She puts intentional tones in there that work the brain. You know
A
what
lot
I'm
of good
saying?
sounds.
Very smart. Another honorable mention. Opia by Savannah Ray,
That's definitely
aka
honorable.
Savannah
Same.
Bay.
Me too.
Savannah
She
She was
Bay.
very close to being in the top, like very fucking close.
Yeah, really good
just
EP.
didn't live with it long
An
enough.
artist that I hadn't heard of prior to this year, so I'm very happy that I experienced that. Another honorable mention for me, Jaguar by Victoria Monet. I know. Doesn't crack the 5. I
heard-
have 5 albums better than that.
I heard that was a fire album this year.
It was fire.
Okay.
It was fire. And she gained extra points once I learned she wrote for Ariana Grande. Because I started to hear it. So I'm like, okay,
Interesting.
I get it. And another honorable mention, Party Mobile, man.
Party Mobile.
I think that album got a lot of flack.
Why?
But when you play it, people just said it wasn't like, the
wasn't
old
his
shit,
best shit.
so to speak. But you play it top to bottom.
And you enjoy
And you're going to be like, this album is it. It's deep. It's not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When I say deep.
it hits better than
It hits
expected.
better. It kind of gained respect over time with me. And I like it. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Right. I'll stop there with the honorable mentions for
Dylan,
now.
got yours ready?
Yeah. So we got Party Mobile or Mobile, whatever he calls it. It's up
Party
there.
Mobile.
I feel like it wasn't all the way an R&B album as well, to be honest.
I can agree with that.
I got Fuck the World by Brent Faiyaz. That was another album that was very, very fucking close to being in my top 5.
I'm actually not mad at that.
Just wasn't quite there enough for me. It wasn't,
like that.
wasn't like a complete project for me. What else do we got? Blah, 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 blah. What else do we got here? I'm just scrolling through. The Giveon album as well. But like because it was an EP, but the EP was so good that like it could have been an album for me. Like
Take Time?
Yeah, the last project that he dropped. I think it was
like
like
4 tracks.
4 or 5 tracks.
No,
whatever.
I'm talking about the one he dropped earlier this year.
No, he's talking about the one he dropped
I swear that was
later.
last year, 2019.
No, he dropped something earlier this year. I remember because you
That was
and
this year?
Yep.
I could have sworn that was last
and
year.
Sasha Chow were talking about it. That's
Yep.
what I remember. That's the reason I remember it so vividly.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that dropped in like March.
Oh, okay, that's a different story then. Okay, I got my list is fucked up then.
No, that's fine.
'Cause I thought that was last year. That's why I didn't add it.
Bump someone out.
On the spot.
Bump someone
my
out. Because
God.
you know you want. You,
Okay, so when it's all said and done, that was the little EP, right?
Yes.
That's the one with like, okay,
But
That's a
Take
fortune.
Time.
still your best, and then like, okay, still your
Take
best.
Time came out in March.
Okay, where's Take Time then? Take Time. That was
That's the one with
the
Heartbreak
longer EP.
Anniversary.
Got you. Favorite mistake. Ooh.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. Mm?
Ooh.
That's what I'm like. Mm?
Okay. My whole list is fucked up now. Thanks.
I mean, you only got to take out one.
And Summer Walker's another honorable mention for me.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Because
at all.
her album was fucking amazing too.
That came out this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
not
shit.
not that one.
Oh, okay, another.
That one's a classic. She came out with like almost like a B-side type of thing.
And it was still fire.
And it was fucking fire. It was
Very
real fun.
close.
Okay.
So what's your
Okay.
top five?
Alright,
So let's go.
One at a time. Let's go.
Yeah, let's
bang, bang, bang,
exactly.
bang, bang, bang,
That's
bang.
what I'm saying. Jada Styles, P style. You know what
Alright.
I'm saying? Number 5 for me.
Ooh.
Hold on. Wait, no. We're only doing that for top, right?
Yeah.
I was about to do it for all of them. That would have been a long show.
Please don't clap until the end. I was about to clap after
Holy
everyone.
fuck. Okay. Number 5. Ungodly Hour by Chloe and Haley.
Okay.
And the reason why that's my number 5 album, I think what they're doing visually I'm going to mention Van Jess's name there as well. But again, from an album perspective, I really like this one. What Chloe and Haley are doing visually
Right.
is insane right now. If you go on their Twitter, you go on their Instagram, I mentioned this when their album dropped as well. They are working this album the way Rihanna works her albums back in the day. The way Beyonce works her albums. in
It does
terms
feel
of-
very Beyonce-esque.
It's exactly that you can tell their school of Beyonce. You can tell they're soaking it all in, and I think this is one of those albums where you may not have loved it at first,
Right.
But because again that
everywhere.
Rihanna approach, she was making a video for every song, right? That Rihanna approach where you really add that additional value to that album. I think they've done it, especially in a pandemic time. A lot of home performances. They have the money. They have the visuals. They have just the presence about them. That's a special one for sure. Number 5 on my list.
I like that.
Ungodly Hour, Chloe and Haley.
Got you.
In
For
there.
me, number 5 was
Or Holly, I
Chilombo.
guess.
Jhené Aiko.
Okay.
I'm a huge Jhené Aiko fan because like she's very, the way she does music is like very hip hop R&B, but like with her voice being so angelic, it doesn't seem very hip hop. But her vibe is hip hop
Hip-hop,
yes.
yeah.
in its roots.
I get
Yeah.
that.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes
so
sense.
like especially down to the features with having like Ab Soul on her album, like
Yeah.
they make good music together. And the Nas track was a standout for me as well. It's just the sounds, the vibes that she had. This was probably her best album that she's put out.
Yes, I can agree with that completely. And yeah, I mean, I mentioned her in honorable mention. She
Yes.
was number 6 for me,
Yeah.
right?
Is that me?
Oh, that's me. That's me.
Oh.
I was like, yo, who's taking here now?
I'm like, wait, what?
And like she has like the freestyles on here. Like she's very hip hop, but she's R&B at the same time. So like I definitely I don't know who just texted me that. It's weird. All right.
So much going on all of a
a
sudden.
lot
Yeah,
going
that's
on.
that's
My
my
mind is
my
very
number 5
stimulated.
album for the year for sure.
Okay, I'm not mad at that at all. Number four on my list, A Muse in Her Feelings.
Is that
Muse in
the
her feelings.
DVSN? Shout out to Toronto, by the way.
By Division.
Fire.
Yeah, definitely the Toronto Connect there. Shout out to the Toronto Connect Division. There was a lot of songs on there that had a ton of replay value for me, right? Even down to the record with Snow Allegra that they had was in my Spotify top songs played, like that song specifically, and that's not even the best song on the album.
It's not.
So it's like that alone kind of explains the story about that album. It's real good, man. I think it does embody Toronto in a lot of ways
1,000%.
with respect to their sound, because they go from like a partier type of vibe to like a reggae type
The
of
reggae
vibe,
influence.
and then they switch it back to the slower type of thing. They really incorporated the Toronto sound. They created the Toronto sound in a lot of ways, and to me this was just a top performing album, top to bottom.
1,000%. For me, Number 4 was Anniversary by Bryson Tiller.
Okay.
Now, this album got a lot of flack from a lot of people, but I didn't see, like, this album was really fucking good. Like Sorrows is probably one of my favorite songs this year. Like, not even just in R&B, like in all music.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like, he fucking flamed that shit. The production was absolutely amazing. His voice sounded great. The lyrics, what he was writing, what he was saying, like everything that he was talking about was absolutely fire. This is probably, I don't want to say it's back to Trap Soul, but like it's like a notch under Trap Soul for sure.
Okay.
In terms of his projects, and that's saying a lot because Trap Soul is up there for sure. But this is it's pretty much there. Like it's not quite there, but it's there, and that's a high bar to hit. So that's why it has to be number 4 for me.
Okay, I'm not mad at that at all. So number three on my list, Take Time by Giveon. For as great as that album is, it only makes number 3.
Yeah.
That album is phenomenal. I mean,
amazing.
We know Giveon is phenomenal. The return of that type of voice, that type of sound.
Like
with the baritone?
That type of vocalist, I should say.
Rich voice, like.
We haven't had that in so long. I couldn't tell you the last time we had that. I'm not an expert in the genre from that perspective. But Giveon, for me, just has like a real elevated value. And the reason for that is because, again, I saw him November 2019 with Snow Allegra.
Yeah. You did?
Before he had music on Spotify.
Yep, I remember you talking about
it. And
I
was like, yo, this guy that opened Giveon, this guy is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And literally a year later,
he's on Drake's track.
He's on a Grammy, a Drake track.
Wow.
He's on top of the world, like, in terms of the R&B world.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not going to act like I discovered him. I know I did not.
You're just saying.
But to experience that moment when he was doing covers. His set was a Daniel Caesar cover.
Oh, wow.
I know what you're saying because I always say I saw Chance before, just when, not even Acid Rap, the one before Acid Rap even came out, it just dropped.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you're saying. You're not even saying that you just found it early, just like, it feels so nice.
Yeah,
like,
and then it's like a
I
few months later, I was like,
up.
I knew this guy was fucking special.
Yeah.
To a point where I, like, had a convo with him to tell him, like, personally, your shit's crazy.
This man spoke to
your voice is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then to see that just a short time later, it's a special connection from that perspective.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
That's a phenomenal album. Take Time by Giveon. Yeah, that one's great.
Honestly, like, that album would be there for me too, but I'm gonna stick to mine. What I got here. So what are we on, number 3?
Number 3.
So I got The Album by
Tiana
Taylor as number 3. Now, it was really tough for me because when we're getting to like the number 3, number 2 kind of spot, this album could easily be number 2 for me.
It becomes like 1A, 1B, 1C
kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, this album was absolutely phenomenal from top to bottom. There's absolutely no skips. First of all, even the track with Iman Shumpert is fire. Like Iman Shumpert.
I love Iman Shumpert.
Yeah, I know you think he was a good rapper. I was a shitty rapper.
I don't think he's a shitty rapper, but I didn't expect him to sound this good on the album.
Remember that way.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's shit at all, but like, I didn't expect him to be this good.
Yeah.
Like, on the album, like, they sound great together. I wish they would make more music together, to be honest. Like, on some Big Sean, Jhené Aiko shit. Like, that'd be fire.
Saying you want to see 2088.
2088, The Revolution. And then the track with Erykah Badu is probably like one of my top favorite songs this year, hands down. She blends the sound so well, like with having like the Vito track on it as well, kind of giving it like a little reggae vibe.
And
with
she
bad
the patois on it at times.
I'm like, she sounded really good with the patois, like especially like I hate when Americans speak patois because like
they don't got
it sounds terrible. I'm just gonna
she gotta really be Jamaican though. She looks Jamaican.
She must be kind of Jamaican or something.
Or she has something in her like her history.
Her history, like her parents.
Maybe her grandmother or like one of those.
The lineage, you know. But she must be Jamaican, so I definitely, this is number 3?
Number 3, yes.
Yeah, number 3 for me.
Okay. Speaking of just kind of shuffling orders and having a hard time, number 2 for me, a little bit of a hard time. I talked about this throughout the year as being my number 1. But it kind of went down to number 2 as of November.
Damn. So end of the year came in big. Honestly, end of the year came in big this year. I won't lie.
You know,
end of the year was really huge.
So at number 2 for me,
I don't know who you're
It
gonna
was
say.
good until it wasn't by Kalani. It was good until it wasn't by Kalani. I think again, this album very much could be number one for me. It's a phenomenal album. I think the timing of this album was perfect in terms of, Kalani's name being up there for celebrity stuff that was going on, her expressing and talking about her growth as an artist, her exploration as an artist, the pandemic and her visually showing that she's learning different things, learning how to produce, learning how to shoot videos, things like that. And just the growth in her sound, the advancement of her sound. I think she's kind of come into form in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she's here.
I feel like she's
here to
found
stay.
her sound.
She did. She definitely
I
did.
feel like she was one of those names that was discussed as really good, but now it's like, no, she's top.
She's-
Yeah, no, she's
She's
here.
superstar
She's here now.
status.
She's here. She's A genre, S genre, however you want to see it.
Multiple time All-Star about to come.
She's here to stay.
Yeah.
She had the numbers, right? What did she
Jason
say?
Tatum. She's Jason Tatum
Basically.
at this point. Now
That's
she's
a
like,
great point. I
she's-
like that
she's
comparison.
going
That's
to-
a great comparison.
she shows she can carry her team, and she's
Yeah.
here to stay.
I like that
I'm
comparison.
going to be more All-Star
Wow.
games
And getting better every day.
and
Wow.
getting better. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, again, this was my favorite R&B project for the year, for the entire year, but I actually have it at number 2 on my top 5 R&B albums of the year.
Yeah, it gets really tough at this part. Like, this was almost impossible for me to do, but I had to put Jaguar at number 2.
Jaguar is...
Now,
Victoria
I
Monet.
listened to Jaguar a bit late, so that may be like it might skew my perspective on it.
recency bias.
Yeah, I think so. But when I heard it like a few months, like maybe about a month or 2, I think a month ago, but a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
something like that.
Sometimes soon. Sometimes not
Like,
so
keep
long
shortening
ago.
the time.
Sometime recently,
Yesterday.
yesterday. But there's no skips on this.
Yes.
That's hard.
0 skips.
That
Like,
moment record was one of my records of the year, according to Spotify.
what was I gonna say? I'm gonna go through it because I need to go back and see like exactly what I fuck with here. Where the fuck is it?
Jaguar, and you had that on your honorable mention too. Like, and that's
That's
like, a lot of
crazy
these lists
to be-
always just end up just being one person has it
here
up
it
here,
is.
another person has it down there. Like that's all
Okay,
they
yeah.
are.
Moment is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's a beautiful way to start the album.
Yo, hold on. Can I cut you off for a second? She just came out with a Jaguar Christmas. The orchestral arrangements. Oh my god.
I seen that.
I gotta download that on my way home
Sorry,
now.
please proceed.
Even to tracks like Ass Like That, like just like showing the range, like showing what she can do. Like she can do everything. This is the most flawless R&B album that I've heard in a long fucking time.
And that's one thing I have heard
flawless.
about Victoria Monet. Is that she is like so talented. Like
She's
she's a dancer. She can
real
sing in
good.
so
Does
many different
everything.
ways. She plays
The
so many
range.
different instruments.
Yeah.
Like, people don't know how much she can do.
She
Like,
does everything.
Everyone that works behind the scenes always like hip hop, non-hip hop
Yeah.
acts have always talked about how good she is and how talented she is, and people don't even realize.
And again, going back to honorable mention, she would have been number 7 on my list. Right? So, yeah, man. Again, that's a fucking quality album. Okay.
Are we at number 1?
Okay, we're at
Number 1.
number 1.
here
Where
now.
is my?
That's what you want to do.
Drum roll, please.
So you want to do for every. Did we do that last time?
My number 1 R&B album of the year. The album by Tiana Taylor. Number 1. I had her.
I'm not mad at that.
I
at all.
had her at number 2 all year,
Yeah.
and Kalani at number 1.
Right.
And then I played both of those albums back to back, and I was like, this Tiana album is different.
I love.
I
love
don't
you,
want
Tiana.
to. I don't want to repeat the things that you said. So what I'll say in addition to what you
Yeah, there we
said
go. I like that.
is that this album is timeless. She has a timeless style. We even heard her on the BET Freestyle. She sounded like she was in the 90s.
Yeah.
90s.
We see her even fashion-wise. She looks like she could be with Lil Kim.
She can come on any
You
era.
know what I'm saying? She could come out in any
she's a
era.
boss. She's
I
a
think
boss
she has
bitch.
that timeless music, that timeless sound. I think she's one of the closer voices to pure R&B, and that's because she has that soul element as well.
I could see that.
If you notice, a lot
Yeah.
of R&B artists don't have the soul element.
That's true.
Right now, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing
it's
wrong with
just,
that.
They
It's
just
just
don't
a
have it.
different subgenre of R&B.
Right.
Right. I like R&B soul personally more than I like R&B. And Tiana Taylor is that.
Yeah.
Shout out
This
to
album
Tiana.
was that, and to your point, there are no skips. So yeah, I mean that's my number one album, number one R&B album for the
Jeez.
year. I'm telling you, that Tiana Taylor, that album.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What we
Shout
doing?
out to Tiana.
What we doing?
Don't retire, babe. Keep
Retire.
making music.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you a drum roll too.
All right. Number one album is A Muse in Her Feelings.
DVSN.
It had to be. It had to be. And this is not Toronto bias by any
No,
stretch.
not at all.
Oh no.
To be honest. Because like, man, I think on my most played songs this year, that Popcorn track is top 10. on my Apple Music replay.
That's
180
funny.
on the Gardner. Who is
180
doing
on the
180
Gardner
on the
Express
Gardner
cheese.
You're
Put
gonna
up
put
with
over
your
here, your
body,
current
what you
pounded.
expect,
You're not even
cheese.
touching more than 135 on the
Honestly,
Fam, that's probably like that.
yeah, you're not doing one. Yeah, Gardner's mad
Now
too
you're wild.
small.
And you're
not
and
doing
the
180.
the
And the windiness of the Gardner.
You're wild at
doing
Popcorn. Yo, what's wrong with you?
180.
Is she
I
that
ain't gonna
bad?
boydums on that.
She's that bad? You got a speed?
I had to pull the record back bare times when he did that.
Fam. I said, pull up for your body, girl. What you expect? Jeez.
Oh my god.
out
Man,
to the
let's give that a
VSN.
round of applause then, man.
Yeah, shout out to Popcorn. Shout out to Division. I don't even know what to say about this song. Like, this album for me was like, it brought me through. I think it came out in the summertime, right?
It did.
Yeah, so this was like the soundtrack for my quarantine summer, you could say.
They had their concert off this too, no?
4 of them.
I think
Also
I don't know who
notes.
this girl is. Chantel May, the outro
Chantel
track.
May is fantastic.
Chantel May, I've heard of her.
Chantel May is
God.
amazing. Chantel May is amazing.
Oh my
Is
god,
she from Toronto too?
is she?
I don't know. I hope so.
I think she
I
is.
really hope so, and I hope she makes more music. I need to find her.
Chantel with a S or a C?
Chantel
With a
S.
C. With a S?
Is it? I
I
think
think
it's
it's a C still.
Chantel with S.
But yeah, let's give that a round of applause though, man. Number one album for
Number
Dill.
one album, Division, Muse in Her Feelings.
I like that. We started pretty hot still. We started pretty hot.
I like that. I
with
like
the
your
top
list,
5.
too.
That was good. I feel like we did
Top
R&B
five, top five,
justice.
top five.
You know, you were like, she is from Toronto East End, by the way.
Oh, I love it.
East
East End, that's
rotate.
not surprising.
The East,
East
yeah.
End is very talented.
They really are.
All right,
East End